What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. What do you think we're talking about today? Seriously, what do you think we're talking about here? We're talking about the lick. We're talking about the center back situation. We're talking about how it's unfolding. Just stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it is Friday, July 15th, 2022, and of course, I've got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Before we get into it, though, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about what's going on with the center back position. Do we have a solution yet? What is going on with Matthias de Ligt? Will he leave the club or will he stay? Just make a freaking decision, my guy. All right. Let's get into it. Before we do that, though, let me go ahead and say this right now. Make sure you're doing this. Make sure you've entered, if you haven't already, the giveaway that we're doing here on the channel for the Paul Pogba official Juventus shirt. The way you can do that is definitely make sure you're subscribed here on the channel, and then you have to go there on Twitter. Go hit the like button, obviously, on the actual post that we posted there. It should be pinned at the very top of the Bianconeri Zone Twitter account, as well as make sure you're retweeting it and tagging at least one friend in there. You want to at least get them a chance. Maybe a couple more friends. That way you all get multiple opportunities. Heck, if you have a wife, girlfriend, friend that doesn't care about Juve, maybe they can enter for you so that way they can end up trying to win it for you. Good ideas of stuff that you could do. Check that out and make sure you do it. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you consider joining the member squad. If you join at the premium level, you get 5 times the opportunity to end up winning the Juve shirt. It worked out last time. Will it do it again? We'll see. All right. Let's get in the main the meat and potatoes, if you will, for the news today. And, of course, the very first one is about Matthias de Ligt, what's going on with his situation. And Romeo Grassi reports that Juventus were never planning to sell Matthias de Ligt during this Mercado. It was the player who opened up to a move. For now, Juve want an offer close to 100 million euros. Juve will never agree on Bayern's first offer, which is around... it was a paltry 60 million euros. Brazzo came in, embarrassed himself. That's what happened. All right, let's continue on. Second part of this, Di Marzio has his report on this, saying that Bayern are still not offering what Juve are asking for de Ligt, which is about 90 to 100 million euros. You're going to have to get close to that, I was going to say triple figures, but it's the nine figures? Nine figure sum. Your boy, math, and it's not working today. All right. Next up, we have Corriere dello Sport, who are giving their 2 cents on the situation, saying that Juventus have lowered the price of de Ligt to 80 million euros, plus bonuses to speed up the closure, and then focus on overtaking Inter for Bremer. Inter's agreement with Torino continues to be missing at the moment. And this is a little bit... is it hot takey? It feels a little bit hot takey there from Corriere dello Sport. It's kind of surprising to me to say that Juve would try to speed this up and end up taking a lesser amount, especially... I understand the 80 million euros. I could be sold on the 80 million euro mark. So I can come around to the idea. But Juve, when they know that they can get 10, 20, that's a whole nother player. That's a Molina. That's literally buying the whole Molina, who Juve are not going to be buying because Atletico Madrid got him. The right back and left back options are all basically off the table at this point. Udogie's not going to be sold this Mercado. Juve right now are going to have to sit in it when it comes to using, Mattia De Sciglio, using Quadrado, using Danilo, and then, of course, Sandro Pellegrini. It is what it is. At least we can bolster our center back situation, and this would be something where maybe the addition of Bremer could be worth doing that. The problem is, I don't know that this is a situation where this actually will do it. It seems, for all intents and purposes, that Inter have a pretty sizable lead when it comes to Juve. Not because of money or anything like that. Obviously, I feel like Torino would rather come around to selling him for a higher price, but because of the situation as it pans out right now, Juve don't have the relationship that Bremer has right now, or the preference of Bremer. All right, let's continue on to another option that Juve are potentially maybe looking at. La Stampa seems to be the main source that's reporting this, saying that it seems that de Ligt has been impressed by the club's direction during the last few days. The affection of the fans and the club's movements could make for a change in plans. The last days before the USA tour are key. So I have no comment on this. We'll see what happens. Obviously, actually, I do have a comment. Let's not kid ourselves. I always have a commentary. On this one, the commentary would be beneficial. That would be the best case scenario for you. I understand. Bremer and him, it's 1A and 1B. 1A to me is de Ligt staying. 1B is getting Bremer and him leaving. Obviously, the amount of money is going to be great too. But when it comes to this right now, for for this Mercado, the way it's playing out, bringing in Di Maria, bringing in Pogba, potentially bringing in a couple other guys, yeah, your wing backs aren't being resolved this Mercado. That's unfortunate. But if our defense can actually be serviceable, especially under Matthias de Ligt, you don't have that massive gap that we were afraid of having for the last few weeks. That sets Juve up to be in a much better situation when it comes to contending for the Serie A. If you have, otherwise, the two resolutions that you found for the attack and for the midfield don't really help when you have an entire massive gap there and the defense can't stop anybody. All right, let's continue on and let's talk about another portion of this. It's a long portion. It's a hefty spoonful serving of Matthias de Ligt this morning. Okay, Mirko Di Natale with his latest comments just says that the new Bayern offer for de Ligt could already arrive next week. They are planning on offering more than 60 million euros plus bonuses. Juventus, as already written several times, will not go below 90. So 60 plus, more than 60 plus bonuses. So I mean, that's at least 65 plus 10. That's not going to happen. I mean, I feel like if it's Bayern, what makes the most sense would be 70 plus 10 in bonuses to get to 80. We'll see if Juve would budge on that. I would still hold pretty firm on that one. All right, let's continue on. Talk about some options that Juve could look at if they're moving on from Matthias de Ligt. And that is, of course, the Independent, who's reporting about Arsenal's player. You know, the one we've talked about recently. Juve have approached Arsenal about the signing of Gabriel. And a deal could be possible with the player open to a move. Arsenal will start at around 50 million pounds, but a player exchange could be an option with Rabiot's name already mentioned. So we floated out there too. Arthur could be used. We'll see. It seems like they've cooled a little bit on Archer, but Gabriel could be an option. He's not my top option though. To me, I think a player that does lead a little bit ahead of Gabriel Magalhaes, especially if we're looking at a similar price range or more expensive for Gabriel Magalhaes, I'd rather go with Torres, the player that we have out there. And that's who we're going to talk about right now. Gazzetta dello Sport reporting that yesterday there was a meeting between Paul Torres' agent and Villarreal to discuss the Bianconeri interest. To this news, the Spanish club replied that the defender is not non-transferable, but that it will take at least 50 million euros to let the player go to Turin. So it's going to be a very, very expensive get if Juve try to go after Paul Torres. I think he's a very good player. If you're not able to get Bremer, I agree with it. It's just still, that's a hefty sum of money to lay down, if you will. All right, let's also talk about what's going on with Fagioli. We have updates on him. Gazzetta dello Sport's reporting that Fagioli should soon renew and could grow in the much-needed regista role for Juventus. Much will depend on the American tour, where Allegri will test him and make a final decision on where he will stay, whether he will stay in Turin next year. Something to keep an eye on. Definitely, we know those will be some fun matches. I'm hoping Matthias de Ligt in that situation's figured out before they have to depart for that, because if he comes along and he's not going to be a part of the Juventus squad, you're hurting the team. You're not helping it. But when it comes to a Fagioli, I will be fascinated to see how he plays out, how he actually does performing with the club, and then, of course, what Allegri's feelings are on the player. All right. A player that has really, really surprised, I guess, overall with Juventus in his return to duties and getting ready to go. It's going to shock some of you. Romeo Grassi reports that there was one player who in the first week of work put up really brilliant numbers in athletic tests and showed up looking sharp, and that is Moise Kean. Believe me if you want, don't believe me. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's out there that he could be looking pretty good. Could it be a little bit of positioning for the Mercado? We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. All right. Couple last things we have up here is Juventus looking up for a Vlahovic or another attacker, and of course could be bringing back old players. La Stampa reporting that Juventus will still give it a go to bring back Alvaro Morata. It's Allegri who's pushing for it, as he knows Alvaro could do a job and know the club. So I know we've had a lot of people asking about Arnautovic, about obviously the situation with Morata. It looks like Morata would be the preferred option for Allegri to go ahead and bring a guy who's he's familiar with, who's played for Juve the last couple seasons and played for him the time before. To me, it makes too much sense if you're able to get him, though Arnautovic is not something to be counted out in the end. And then finally, the guy we all don't like, who we can't wait to see gone from the club, Aaron Ramsey. Nico Schietta has an update on him saying that talks in progress for the termination of the contract with an important severance pay between Juventus and Aaron Ramsey. Juve are confident to reach an agreement in the next few days. There you go. Hopefully he'll be out of here very, very soon. Anyway, guys, That'll do it for this edition of the news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe. No, smash the like button too. Don't just smash the subscribe. Smash the like button too. And hit that bell icon to stay notified for all our latest videos. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me at JustinSofer on Twitter. And of course, you can follow Beyond Canadian Zone at Beyond Canadian Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Beyond Canary.